Hello, we are the Simulation Exploration Experience team. Our team is sponsored by NASA and the Florida Space Institute. Our team members are...
Hi, my name is Adrian Andrade. I took place with the coding and building the diagrams.
My name is Austin. I did the coding.
My name is Cameron, and I'm responsible for much of the server.
My name is Laura. I am the project manager and I worked on the 3D models.
My name is Ngọc. I work on 3D model.
So what is SCE? SCE stands for Simulation Exploration Experience. It's a faculty-led international collaboration between teams of students that are tasked with designing and implementing the simulation of a lunar base that is supposed to be autonomously built by rovers. This event usually culminates in an annual conference that takes place in April. In this conference, each team is supposed to present their results throughout the semester. The overarching purpose of SCE is to create college-level modeling and simulation education, promote standards for interoperability, and also help students to become more employable.
So through simulation, this project really strives to help further science by researching and describing the challenges involved in building a new city airbase. We are able to bring the light to obstacles that would be needed to be overcome before the final planning and design process even begins. This is especially key with the upcoming Artemis project that NASA is currently working on. The Artemis program plans to create the first ever permanent moon base, and we'll be bringing people back to the moon for the first time in, I think, nearly 50 years. Through our project, the work on this project, we are able to contribute a small part to the scientific community as a whole and push the ever-changing technological landscape. And just like much of NASA, our project can also inspire both the future generations and future graduates to contribute more to the scientific community and provide further insight from building off a project for the years to come.
So for our team goals, our first team goal was to set up the infrastructure to support the conference. This involved setting up a server that be running central runtime infrastructure, as well as setting up a VPN for teams to securely connect to it. The second goal was to design and implement 2 new components to add to the simulation: the launch and landing pad federate and the berm federate.
This is the pitch web viewer, which allows us to see when federates are connected to the infrastructure. A nice tool for testing whether the federates are actually connecting like they should be. This is the simulation environment DAWN, and what our goal is to simulate is the Razor going from a source location and going to the pad to build it tile by tile, and then show it building the berm section by section.
So COVID-19 has had a tremendous impact in our lives. In the context of senior design, it affects team dynamics and of course productivity. However, our team has been able to maintain good communication by having weekly team meetings. We also have excellent communication with our sponsor. We meet with him on a weekly basis as well. Zoom and Discord have been our bread and butter for the entire semester. We have 2 main Discord servers that we use all the time. The first one is our team private server. In here we share everything from things to do, resources. We have voice channels to collaborate live. And we also have a global Florida Space Institute server that we're part of. In here we can connect with teams across the world, collaborate together, share ideas, ask questions that everyone has, and overall work together as a whole.
A challenge we face during landing is hard time finding code and documentation from last year's CTM. To solve this problem, we contacted 2 people who could help us, such as students from last year's CTM. You can NASA computer scientist and our sponsor, My Control. Also discussing with the international teams and Google Search are the ways that help us to overcome this challenge.
So throughout the last 2 semesters, I believe that a key part to our success from our team was something that really greatly helped us overcome the challenges of completing a project during a global pandemic was the technology that we had at hand. So due to the nature of a simulation, all of the work that needs to be done can be completed and is possible to be done at home. And this allowed us to take full advantage of Discord and stay in constant contact with one another, especially as this is an international project. No matter the distance, whether we are working, who we're working with just down the block or across the ocean, Discord allows us to let us feel more connected and create a team dynamic. I also believe that Amazon's web services cannot be the role that Amazon's web services play cannot be discounted. As our team set up the server used for the entire organization and the final conference, we showed that although we couldn't see each other face to face, we were able to still collaborate and work as a team.
So like already mentioned, we met with our stakeholder Mike every week, and we also met with the international teams every week and with the NASA representative Zuquan. And when we were tasked with this project, Mike gave us free range on how we were to achieve the goals that he set out. It was very supportive and understanding of when we had questions about those goals, whether it be a question on how something worked or a question on how we should go about implementing something. He was always there for help and recommendations on that. And the process that we used for getting that feedback was straightforward. We would be in Discord, talk with him, go over our plans, and then we would discuss from there.
So some of the lessons we learned through this process, we faced several challenges, including the challenge of piggybacking off of established code from previous teams, especially if not all the code is accurate or works or is laid out with clear instructions as to what functions do which. And we learned that it's important to set and meet deadlines and checkpoints, and the importance of meeting those can't be understated. Another lesson learned that will be brought into real life is collaborating code with others, as people code differently, and people often have different ideas and visions of how a method or function will play out in their head. And it's easy to get by that without communicating directly or efficiently, and that's something that happens a lot in the real world. Some of those things that can be taught upon is having the appropriate documentation, making sure that you have all the necessary documents or code needed to provide for coding and building a project, as well as leaving clean and consistent comments throughout the code to give instruction to future collaborators. And it's also important to give a clear direction or plan as well when handing off code or working with someone else. Piggybacking on how this will apply to future work, it's an example of how fluidity in a team can be a powerful tool. If a team member is flexible and can work in different areas and can help each other out, it's invaluable to the project as a whole. It simulates a real-world experience of having to build a project off incomplete or otherwise broken code, maybe outsourced or within. And it demonstrates the importance of communication between team members, as knowing what each other is working on and how each other wants something done is invaluable to the overall project. And it also provides a real-life deadline expectation experience. In conclusion, that was the demonstration by the UCF C 3.0 2021 team. Thanks for watching.